Yeah, yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fan, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
On to the NFL, man. Some news in the NFL. Right before we started recording, Sam Darnold got traded to the Panthers from the Jets for multiple draft picks, a 2021 sixth-round pick, 2022 second-round pick, and a 2022 fourth-round pick. So now they got another quarterback in Carolina. Since then, rumors have come out that they're either going to move Teddy Bridgewater or restructure his contract. So we'll update you guys on that. But that definitely has some stipulations on the draft and what, Carolina does if they do move Teddy Bridgewater. And, when we talk about the draft, we'll tell you guys a little more about that. Jimmy G, 49ers said they were going to keep him for the season, that he's their guy. That he, what are you laughing at?
Because I'm not buying that book from the
I know.
This is what they're going to keep Jimmy G from the season when they just traded up to the number 3 pick in the drafts. I think it's ridiculous.
You really can't trust.
It's
you
laughable.
Can't trust them. You can't trust.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't trust them. That's for sure.
Right.
Laughable.
So they are asking for a first round pick for Jimmy G. If you want him, offer up your first round, and you can get him. I will see.
That's simple, huh, John?
That's simple, baby. We're not gonna
simple.
trade him, but he's first round. You got first round. You got him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, ship him right to you.
But bubble wrapped. You know what I mean? Because he's fragile.
For real, I like that one. Bubble wrap.
For real. Well, now that we know,
he's definitely gonna need them bubble wraps because with
he's fragile.
Injuries, that's the only way that's gonna keep him fresh and
for real.
At least try to keep him.
Get him into the season
for next year.
Get him into the season. Jets will be picking Zach Wilson at quarterback, obviously, because they just traded their starting quarterback. So Zach Wilson will be
again. Zach Wilson.
Well, they don't have another choice, unless they pick Justin Fields, which he is falling down, draft boards like crazy. So they will be picking Zach Wilson. Everybody wants Zach Wilson right now because he's the guy that's climbing the charts, based on the throws that he made without no pass rush. So we'll see what happens, when he meets some pass rush.
Right, for real.
Larry Fitzgerald is supposed to be announcing his retirement before the start of the season. One of the greats, we've ever seen. Whenever that happens, we'll let you guys know and update you.
Shout out Larry Fitz.
Yeah, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan attended Mac Jones Pro Day, which, tells you they might be in on Mac Jones at the number 3 position because they traded up to get a quarterback. For sure.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with that. Those guys be lying.
Facts. For real. They're so bad at line, it's funny, John.
Man.
That's why I keep laughing every time you say a bit of news from the 49ers, because you're right. They're like the worst liars in the NFL.
That's for sure, man. Justin Fields, a quarterback that was supposed to be second overall prospect in the quarterback position, and now he's falling down charts. He had his pro day. He ran a 4.4, made every throw out there. A team's going to get lucky to get him. The Houston Police Department is investigating after complaints were filed concerning Deshaun Watson. We don't know what those concerns entail. We'll let you guys know. Jalen Hurts from the Eagles, the starting quarterback, the supposedly starting quarterback, he's going to change his number from number 2 to number 1, which he previously wore in college. And he previously wore number 2 last year. So now he'll be number 1. The Bucks and Antonio Brown are not close on a contract. They still haven't signed him. AB still out there. Can you imagine AB went from like a shitstorm last year, lawsuits all over the place, to winning a championship, and now he's waiting for a team to sign him again? Like, we don't hear about AB. There's no court proceedings. The league is not suspending nothing. We don't hear nothing. Seems like he got it figured out.
He's going back to the Bucks. He ain't leaving his man Brady. So
you know that.
He'll be back there eventually. I'm not worried.
Right. Tyler Lockett agreed to a 4-year, $69.2 million contract with the Seahawks. The great Seahawks receiver. He's going to stay there. He got paid for sure. The Falcons will play a game in London in Hotspur Stadium this coming season. We'll let you guys know exactly what game those are. In some Patriots news, Belichick and McDaniels were at Mac Jones Pro Day. It's rumored that Mac Jones is going to go number 3. I don't know if they plan on, making a trade with the 49ers, but they were at the Pro Day. They didn't go to Justin Fields' Pro Day, which is somebody else they're linked to, but maybe that's like a smoke screen. We don't know. We'll see what happens. The draft is in 24 days now. 24 days. As far as like the draft, have you guys thought about, the draft and who you guys would like, what you guys think we should do with the number 1 pick?
I think we should pick a cornerstone defensive lineman. I remember the last time we picked a cornerstone defensive lineman was when we traded the last time we drafted a cornerstone defensive player was when we
that Vince Wilfork?
No. When we traded Richard Seymour to the Oakland Raiders, and we got the 9th or 8th pick in the draft, and then we drafted Jared Mayo.
Number 10 pick.
Number
10th pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we drafted Jared Mayo. So I think that's what we should do with the 15th pick. Draft somebody either on the defensive line or the linebacker core. Most likely the defensive line that's gonna be on your team for the next 10 years. Somebody like that. That's what I want.
Yep. Barry, what do you think?
I mean, I would like to see them get a quarterback, since that's what they need. That's the biggest need on the team, and I want to see them address that, in the draft, since they haven't addressed that in free agency, really. So, preferably, I, would like to see them do that. But the only way for them to do that is for them to trade, up in the draft and get one of those top picks, and that's more than likely not going to happen, but we never know. But if they don't do that, I think they're gonna go defense. I agree with Vlad. They'll probably get like either a linebacker or or another pass rusher, another like the end or something, and add to that the defense that they already have, and they've been building on this off season. With all the guys that they've picked up in free agency, and with the opt-outs coming back. So I think he'll probably go defense at 15, but I would like to see a quarterback being drafted with that pick if he doesn't decide to go defense.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I hope we package something to move up in the draft and get a quarterback myself, man. I think I definitely like, Fields. I like one of those 5 guys for sure. Just because we need some rejuvenation, amongst the fan base. We need something,
right?
Man. And
absolutely.
Listen, with the moves that the Patriots have made, it tells me that they're not planning on being mediocre, right? And if you're not mediocre, it means you're going to pick later on in the draft as opposed to, the first half of the draft. You know what I'm saying? So you got all those players, package some picks, move up, and possibly make a nice pick at quarterback, which we've never done before, but we've seen them do stuff they've never done before this year. So they can do it, and package something and get a young guy in there to take over, I think, you know, if we bring somebody in to learn the system right off the bat, as opposed to coming in from somewhere else trying to learn, it's going to be a lot better for us. But I definitely like to see a young guy. But if not, you know, because since Carolina just got, you know, Sam Darnold, that means, you know, Carolina possibly might not be looking for a quarterback in this draft, you know, and they pick before the Patriots. So might mean we have a chance at somebody good, you know, because I don't see them, you know, adding another quarterback on top of Sam Darnold and Teddy Bridgewater now, right? And if they trade Teddy Bridgewater, I think it would be a disservice to them because you're pretty much making the position weaker, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what you potentially have in Darnold. But definitely a signal caller would be my number one choice. But if not, there's some really nice linebackers in the draft this year. You know, somebody like a Micah Parsons, you know, I like a lot. So that's the name I keep hearing. I've seen some highlights on him. Has some character issues and stuff like that. But other than that, he looks like a cornerstone, like Vlad was saying. And I wouldn't mind seeing somebody like that. We know, if anything, Belichick knows how to make defensive picks in the first round. I think if he does go defensive player, he'll bring us somebody good. So, you know, that's going to be it for the NFL segment. We're